Welcome to the Defense and Aerospace Report. I'm Vago Muradian aboard the Enterprise, no longer the USS Enterprise, now that she's been decommissioned from more than 5 decades of service in the United States Navy, the Navy's first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. And we're honored to have with us Matt Mulherin, who is the president of Newport News Shipbuilding, division of Huntington Ingalls Industries, who built this great ship in this very dry dock where she sits right now. Matt, what did this mean to you as a lifelong shipbuilder and just being aboard the ship and participating in this really moving ceremony?
You know, it's kind of a bittersweet day. I mean, you've seen we've seen the ship. We've in my time we've refueled her, we've maintained her. Now we've done the inactivation, and it's a kind of a tough day. I think there's a lot of shipbuilders who today is kind of a milestone for them that says, hey, I've done it all. We have shipbuilders who started and built her and have been part of the maintainer and now the defueler. So, for them, it's kind of like my mission's done. Some of them are saying maybe now I can retire. I've met that milestone. So, it's kind of a tough day for us to think it's out of service, one of the great ships of the fleet. Certainly, proud that we're passing the traditions on to CVN 80, the next USS Enterprise into the future. So, it's good to recognize the past, and it gives you a little bit of a time to look to the future as well.
As somebody who's been visiting this shipyard for a long time, I've seen it when you guys have been busy. I've seen it when you guys have been somewhat less busy than you'd like to be. And now things are absolutely booming here. You guys are working on Ford, you're working on Kennedy, you're working on parts of Enterprise already as long lead. GW is over here getting some work done to her, and now this ship is here. The Navy has not yet decided what to do with Enterprise. If they decide to not take her to Bremerton for scrapping, is that work that you guys can accomplish here with the workforce you have?
I really don't know. I'm going to have to defer to the Navy of what their real plan ultimately is. But somewhere in my heart of hearts it says I can't see a disposal, as sad as that is, of this ship without Newport News' involvement. So we'll see. Time will tell, but we're looking forward to what comes next.
And what's next for the ship as she sits here?
We'll finish her up here in dry dock, the work we have to go do, get her out of dock so we can rearrange the dock from an Enterprise configuration to a Nimitz to be able to let CVN 73 come in for her refuel, to start her refueling and overhaul, and then goes down to the pier. We finish her up, and by the end of the summer, the early part of the fall, she's back to the Navy.
Let me take you to the question of the Ford class. Obviously, some teething challenges on that, much less so on your part, much more so on the systems part of it. But talk to us a little bit about where you guys are on the learning curve for it, and how those lessons are being applied to Kennedy and to Enterprise.
Absolutely. Ford is, we're continuing. We're pushing hard. We're going to get her to sea as fast as we can. She's making great progress. Going to be a great ship. I spend a lot of time down there, and we are learning the lessons. We're transitioning those over to the John F. Kennedy, ultimately to Enterprise, the next Enterprise. And we took that contract for Kennedy at 18% fewer man hours. So we had we anticipated the learning that would be natural, but there was some part of it that you have to go beyond just a standard learning curve. So we're doing things differently on Kennedy, and we'll have to do things again, continue beyond learning. How do we do things differently? We talked today about, how do we go to digital work packages and get away from standard construction drawings and go to, think of a work instruction with embedded YouTube video kind of things that help the mechanic figure out how to do the work more efficiently. So we're looking at all those kind of things, and we'll continue to drive costs out, keep carriers affordable, and the great capable ships that they are today.
And from a schedule standpoint, where are we on Ford? Where are you? When do you think that sea trial is going to happen?
Well, certainly, the Navy has said end of April delivery, and we continue to push like hell for that. So making good progress. Can't wait to get her to sea.
And let me ask you about skills. I mean, one of the big things that's a priority for the United States Navy and also for all the shipyards, we visited Bremerton and that was a challenge there. We've talked to Tom Moore, obviously NAVSEA commander, about the skills and how hard it is to rebuild these skills, because everybody's looking at a surge in nuclear construction. It's a two-part question. Where are you on rebuilding the skills? You guys have one of the best university programs going that's more selective than Harvard. Tell us where you are on the skills.
Yeah, so we have two tracks to develop production workforce. We have our apprentice school, as you said, very selective. We're growing the size of the apprentice school, so we're ready for that next group of workforce that comes in here. And then we have our traditional trades training pipeline. We have done a lot to really think about how do adults learn, how do we teach the next generation, millennials coming into the yard, and we have been very effective at doing that. We think workforce development is absolutely the secret sauce for the shipyard, and we're making good progress.
Let me ask you one question on submarines. There are some who are already talking about going to a 3 per year attack boat rate. You're a key part of the team with General Dynamics. I talked to Mike Petters about it. He was very enthusiastic. You could go to 3 and do ORP. There are others, including the Chief of Naval Operations, who've said, I don't know, let's get through this. Where do you think you guys are on it, and are you guys already starting to make some investment or at least some thinking to get ready for that possibility, perhaps?
Absolutely thinking about it. I think it's I think there's a view that when things really get tough and when we grow the size of the Navy, we're going to build more attack submarines, and we are ready to go do that. I'm not going to tell you we're ready this instant, but we know the things we need to go do. We know the investments we need to make. Look forward to it. Those are the kind of numbers that when I was working the submarine program back building 688s that we were at. I know it's a challenge, but we're certainly up to do it and interested in doing it.
Matt, always a treat. Thanks very, very much. Best of luck on this bittersweet day.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Let me ask one last quick question. Enterprise, when should we expect to see the next Enterprise coming into service, roughly, based on what your guys' planning is?
We just got the early part of the contract to start some of the long lead time material. So, it's every bit of 10 years from now.
Great, sir. Thanks very much, and looking forward to keeping track of the new Big E as she comes online.
Very good. We all are. Thanks.